Good morning, good evening, namaste, assalamu alaikum to all. Welcome to Knowledge Management Awareness Week, day 7. It's already day 7, and I feel excited that I'm part of this Awareness Week. I've been receiving a lot of questions on basic knowledge management about standards, which is very welcoming. Keep mailing me, ask questions. We'll be very happy to cover post this awareness week as well. Thank you. Also, one of the good news is that the book has also reached number 6 in Knowledge Capital bestseller. Thank you very much again. So today's topic is about ISO 30401 knowledge management standards. I want to keep it very concise and to the point. Knowledge management standard and knowledge management, whatever we have spoken from past 6 days, and whatever knowledge management standard we are going to speak about this is all aligned for the best of organization resilience and the best of organization performance. We are going to see how. So what does ISO 30401 knowledge management standard is needed, or why? Or what does it contain? So if you take any organization today, if you are taking any knowledge management systems, or if you are taking any projects, generally you initiate the projects, right? Then you bring the right people together, then you plan, you plan your resources, you plan your engineering, or you plan your construction, etc. Then you design what needs to be, how it has to come, or what is the envisioned, right? High level to low level design. Then the real implementation happens, whether it's projects, whether it is systems development. Once the project is completed, then you launch or you make it operationalized. Then over a period of time, you provide feedback to the team who in the operation, and you make the systems effective. Now, if you take the entire aspect of this, any execution of projects or execution of any construction or engineering, or even house, any of your how do you complete any product development or services or anything, it all starts with this fundamental areas of phases of life cycle, right? Now ISO has derived these important elements and have provided some key design tenets or requirements, which I call tenets or requirements, in the form of leadership. Do you have leadership, knowledge leadership? For example, one leader at the management with the envision of knowledge management for the organization can create a very vast impact in terms of sponsoring and getting the right people, and seeing the possibility, what is possible in terms of managing the organization knowledge, whether it is product related, whether it is customer related, whether it is services oriented. So one important is leadership, that is in the game. Then do you have governance? Then how are you developing the knowledge management structure? Do you have the processes defined for around KM or KM IT system or KM practices? Again, do you have so I mean, you can see here KM technology and infrastructure is just one cog of the wheel. Yeah, it's just one aspect of the, if you have 12 or 13 important elements, IT systems are one part of the thing, standards. Yeah. Again, KM policy and documentation. How well are you defined your policies, and do you have documentation? Then what are the end of the day? How are you managing your digital content, or whether we are talking about IP, we are talking about you're talking about any information, what is required, right? Again, people, roles, and structure. If you have to execute all these things, do you have right people and the right structure? And end of the day, if you have, how do you manage the game culture? Communication with the people around the content using technology, right? So you need to manage communication, which is very, very important. Then how well are you managing your program, game program or game initiatives? How are you doing it well or not? So these are some of the important aspects. Again, how are you well? Are you providing good support, and how are you, operationalizing the whole game aspect of it? So if you actually look at how you do things, and how you, if you want to apply, how you want to, if you want to apply game to any organization, is both are same. It's just that when the moment when we say standard, knowledge management standard basically is not standardizing knowledge. Knowledge management standard only provides a framework to manage your knowledge management program. It does not provide you solution. It does not tell you what to do, what not to do. So actually, if you really want to understand the real principles behind the standard, is the organization able to understand the value of knowledge? Do you have a focused knowledge management, focused organizational knowledge management, view or perspective? Can you develop your own customized, knowledge management strategy, get into the needs of the stakeholders? How are you developing the culture where people cater their own knowledge needs? And how is leadership creating that space in which knowledge sharing happens naturally? Again, how are you making sure the game system evolves naturally and self-sustains? So if you see this, these are the fundamental principles on which the entire ISO requirements are based on. So if you ask me, okay, I'm doing game, do you think I'm doing ISO standard? Today, if you're doing game, or today if you're saying ISO standard, I can understand that you are doing the important areas and you're addressing all this principle structured way, right? So with this context, knowledge management standards, if you want to deploy knowledge management for accelerated way, organizations should adopt knowledge management standards and start developing knowledge management solutions. Developing knowledge management solutions is completely a different domain and different work altogether. For that, again, you need to look at the challenges and develop appropriate solutions. So how do you go about implementing checklist? If any organization in this book, in the appendix, if you go, you have a checklist where you can take each of these things and say it is applicable, yeah or not. So in this way, if you start even check marking each and every point of it and say not applicable, yeah, it is number of flaws. So once you start mapping these things, you would have actually developed the requirements tenets of the standards. Yeah. So this, this the book is more of self-help book or practical guide. You could really get a great value out of organizations or individuals who are looking to implement the standards. When I say implement standard, end of the day, you need to create effective game systems. Will you be able to do it? How to do it? All these things are again covered in this book in a most practical way. With this, I'm going to end today's session. I'm looking forward to tomorrow's session, which is my last session in this game awareness series. Thank you very much.